Okay. Got Michael there. Let's go.
Well, hold on. They got to file in and take their seats.
I know, but you said you wanted to do a quick one.
Hello, Michael Melkos, Tiffany Tippin, ACNC12, Adrienne. Hello, Elizabeth Estrada. Not to be confused with Liz Key or Elizabeth Betts. Those are three different people. Hello, Andrew Pullen. Rachel Boren. Hello, Stephanie De Leon. Christy Bazemore Taylor. My man, Hector Wasabi. Albert Kitten Tracks. Hello, Shelly. Hello, Rosa Caceres. Hello, Jessica D. Hello, Morgan. Tammy Killam. Sam I am. Thank you, Sam. No, we did not increase the font. We're running our standard presentation here. Michael Melkos. Hello, Edison Al. Hello, Micah Joe. MJ. Hello, Kelly DePlacido. Hello, Jennifer Shashevsky. Hello, Julie's Overalls. Hello, Amy Wilkerson. Next to Kelly, Larry's second biggest apologist on earth. Hello, Kay Johnson. Hello, Stronger and Wiser. Hello, El Prana. Hello, Charles. Oh, man. Hello, Kara. Okay. Has everybody filed in and taken their seats? Everybody have their popcorn? Quarter pound all beef dogs?
I hope not.
Hello, sincerely, Swapna. Hello, B. Jordan. Tammy loves your dress.
Thank you. It's Amazon.
What am I, chopped liver?
It's Amazon. It makes me look real busty, but that might also be my weight gain. How can I blame the dress, right?
Bounce with me, bounce.
But it does accentuate my bosom a lot. Look at that.
Bounce.
But it's what on the drop, I believe they called it. My cousin went to go look for it, and I think they were out of it, but they've probably been restocked by now because it's been a while. But yeah, it's one of the drop dresses on there. Thank you. I get a lot of compliments on it. It's a little short, but I like it. It also comes in like a solid black, which I wanted to order, but they were out of it when I looked. I might look again.
Because that's what you need in your wardrobe.
Another black dress.
Another black dress.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay away from buying anything until I get this.
I'm the one to talk.
This
I thought we were doing Red Mountain.
Wait, well, this
ad.
Thank
you, Jeff.
Off, you know. What are you thanking Jeff for?
Jeff sent me a package of something. Probably a package of muscle milk.
Jeff who?
McKinsey.
Do I know Jeff McKinsey?
I don't know.
I can't reach y'all. I'm sorry, I can't see.
There is a seat for you on the front row, Kara. You're a presidential member.
One of our A Sandwich and Some Lovin' listeners is going to be on next week's Love Letters to Kellie podcast.
Love Letters. Who? Love Letters to Kellie.
I want to say her name was Olivia.
Oh, really?
Gosh, I can't remember right now. I'm drawing a blank, but I remember today she said, she wrote in and said she's a listener of A Sandwich and Some Lovin', and she heard me talking about Love Letters to Kellie. So she listened to the Love Letters to Kellie podcast for the first time and wrote a letter, and we answered it. So she's going to be on the podcast next week. If y'all want to check out next week's Love Letters to Kellie podcast, it always drops on Wednesdays. Have y'all been listening to that?
A letter?
Yeah. It drops every Wednesday at 10 a.m. If y'all want to check that out too, there's no reason why you can't listen to me on 2 podcasts. Actually, that'd be 3. 2 here and 1 there. It's a shorter podcast, usually about 30 minutes or so. But we get to talk to people on the phone, which we don't get to do on the radio show. So it's a little different. Alan's still taking notes, so now I'm
ready.
Time.
I'm ready to go.
You're taking notes. So anyway, if y'all ever want to write a love letter to Kellie, y'all could be on that podcast too. That'd be fun. Little crossover promotion.
Love letters to Kellie. You ready?
Yes. Testing. I've been talking for a while, and See, Alan always like, am I ready? And look what's happening.
Stop
ready.
talking.
Not ready in the slightest.
I'm ready. Okay, give me something.
I've been giving you something. Test all over the place. Just test.
Connie Lingus, please pick up the red courtesy phone. Connie Lingus, please pick up the red courtesy phone. Got the memory chip in there? Yep.
I have no idea. You're in charge of that. Welcome to A Sandwich and Some Lovin'. Man, I hope we're recording this podcast. Alan just put a little fear into my belly. Not sure if the recording card is in there, but we're going to hope for the best. And y'all will be hearing this podcast when it drops on Thursday. I'm Kellie Rasberry Evans. This is my husband and podcast co-host, Alan Evans.
A trade in the house.
Wow, you're in a good mood.
I think I'm overcompensating because I am dragging some serious ass.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever recovered from last Friday at Coldplay. I still have not caught up.
I don't know what my story is. I just walked the dogs and maybe the heat zapped me. And then I've been doing a lot of landscaper Alonzo stuff in the yard.
I think that
kind of zapped me. I'm just zapped.
Well, we're going to pull it together for the listeners. You're going to overcompensate, right?
But you know what? I know better than to come on this podcast and talk about my ailments, because when I do, I get mocked.
Well, you mock me whenever
I get mocked.
Well, you mock me when I talk about my ailments.
There are.
I'm suffering right now.
Some of our listeners, who I will name, Amy Wilkerson, Jenna Blaylock, they mock me. They say they're going to get a food train going, and Alan has a hangnail.
I can't even straighten my elbow right now.
Okay, now this is a serious.
This is a serious one, y'all.
Yeah,
I'm going to a doctor tomorrow who hopefully is going to fix it. It's so bad I can't even straighten my elbow now. It's bad. But anyway, enough about me. It's all about you guys. Listen, last podcast, Sin Galvin chewed our heinies off, and I don't have much hiney. It's wide, but it's flat. It's wide, but it's flat. We forgot to tell y'all about our next podcast family get together. So rather than wait to the end of the podcast, I want to get that out of the way now.
Okay.
Well, tell them. You sit there. You say I talk too much. I pause for you to talk. I'm pausing for my husband to talk and interject. So here you go.
Let's see. What are we talking about? The podcast listener appreciation?
Were you just not even paying attention to me? We're only 2 minutes in.
I told you I've got tired head. June the 3rd at Oaked Barbecue in Dallas, 5500 Greenville Avenue. It's at oakedbbq.com if you want to check the menu out. We're having listener appreciation night. Starts at 6:30. There will be fun. There will be frivolity. And there will be buffoonery.
And food. And listen, we know it's a Friday night and it's kind of tough. So that's why we've got a kind of an odd start time at 6:30. Hopefully people can make it. There's rush hour and stuff. But we're going to be there hanging out. If you're not there when the doors open at 6:30, that's fine. We'll be there for a while. But we were originally going to do it on the next day, on the Saturday, June 4th.
Can't do that.
We
have another event to go to.
Because there is a second event.
And you're invited to that as well.
So if for some reason you can't make it Friday, we hope you can. We love hanging out at Oak Barbecue. It's fun. It's a casual environment. It's great food, great cocktails, and it's just a lot of fun. But if you can't make it to Oak Barbecue, and tell them how they can go and you don't have to buy tickets, but we kind of like to have a head count of who's coming so they just know how much food to have ready.
Yeah, if you will, please follow us at A Sandwich and Some Lovin' on Facebook. But it's listed under Alan and Kellie's A Sandwich and Some Lovin'. So if you just type Alan or A, you'll probably see it pop up. But there you can see the event and just RSVP there if you would.
It doesn't cost anything.
But
it's just helpful.
Yeah, we can give Chef a somewhat accurate head count, right?
Yeah. And the same goes for the following night, June the 4th. If you go on Facebook and search 10th Annual Rock for the Troops, that's the link that'll take you where they also are selling tickets and giving you information about Rock for the Troops. Mm-hmm. Is it it's a ticketed event, or is it just where they take donations?
They take donations.
Right. So you can go there. So again, that's free to get in, I believe. Oh gosh, I'm probably talking out my butt. Just go look for 10th annual Rock for the Troops. It's June 4th at Lava Cantina. Lava Cantina is in the Colony. If you go, it's just north of Dallas, north of Plano, and then there's the Colony. And that event is from 5 to 8:30, and Alan and I will be there for that as well. This is the event where Alan won the Chevelle last year.
Won a car.
They have raffle tickets. Bring money, bring your credit card so you can buy raffle tickets, because this is good stuff, because all the proceeds benefit the troops. Patrick Sowers, who founded this organization, grants wishes to members of the military and their families, and they do wonderful things with that money. Things that you don't even realize our troops, when they come back and they have to settle into barracks here at home, they don't only have sheets to put on the bed. The military doesn't provide those things all the time. I was really shocked to find that out. That's how I first came to know Patrick, was with a bedding drive. We were just collecting pillows and blankets and sheets and things like that to outfit their barracks. That's shameful that our country doesn't supply those things, but that's the way it is. So that's why we have things like that. But Patrick also does really fun things with that money too. He has really great relationships with people that have football stadiums. And so, like, if Taylor Swift comes to town, he'll have a suite. And so a lot of these children of military members who are overseas or whatever, he'll invite the children to come to these concerts.
Mhm.
And it's dreams come true for them. They do adaptive housing for members of the military who lose limbs, and they need to have special features in housing in their houses. So there's so much that this money goes toward. Operation Once in a Lifetime is really a great charity that we love to support. And you can do that and have fun too.
He's bought tickets before for vets who, say their wife is here in the States and they're abroad and they can't get home to like witness the birth of their child. He'll buy plane tickets for those guys that are active military so they can come back. And
he'll take large groups to Arlington National Cemetery. That's a very big deal.
Yeah, he does that trip every year.
Yeah, every year.
Yeah.
And, this fundraiser is just one of the ways they raise money for it. So anyway, we're really excited to be there. So Alan and I are going to have a busy weekend, the first weekend of June. But we want to see as many of you as possible. If you can come to Oat, great. And if you can come to Lava Cantina for Rock for the Troops, great. If you can come to both, awesome.
Those who come to both will be bestowed presidential status.
Well, there you go. Some of you have already earned it.
Right? I'm going to have my big Excalibur sword, and I'm just going to dub thee, knight thee, right there at Rock the Troops.
Maybe we should have a little something to give to everyone. Like maybe we can get some little, how they have the presidential coins and stuff? We'll figure something out. We need to do something to acknowledge
presidential coins.
You know how they, have like little coins for things like,
Kellie.
Well, for the president, and they also have like for members of the military, they're little coins.
Yeah.
We're looking for something. You need to have something to acknowledge. Hey, I'm in the club, right? God, y'all, every time I lift my arm, it hurts. Sorry. All right. We got a lot to get to on this podcast. So besides my pain, we've got some really interesting updates on my life. I'm kidding. On my daughter's life.
Oh,
big happenings.
Oh,
Alan,
big goings on.
Really? This weekend with my daughter.
You're going to update me? Because I have no idea.
Well, I think you do know. You just kind of
tend
to forget. I think you do. But real quick before we get to that, inflation. I don't think I have to tell you, this is starting to hurt. From cringing at the pump to getting an eye-popping check at your favorite restaurant, going to y'all, inflation is hitting us all where it hurts, and it really hurts. That's why we started using Upside.
Upside.
Yes. It is an incredible app for anyone who buys gas, groceries, or eats out. Because with every purchase, you earn cash back thanks to Upside. Alan actually, he was going through, we just for fun, we were like looking around tonight to see what savings we can get. Alan, why don't you share what you found? It's so easy to sign up to.
Yeah, well, you have to get gas anyway. So why not use the Upside app? And for example, we have a Shell station really close to our house. I can save 20 cents a gallon, which that's considerable savings. Say you're filling up a car, it takes 20 gallons.
Seriously, y'all.
And all you have to do is upload the receipt to your Upside app.
And it doesn't cost you anything. So you're going to be getting gas anyway. You're going to be dining out anyway. You upload your receipt, you get the money back. It's free money, literally. So to get started, just download the free Upside app in the App Store or Google Play. Use our promo code Lovin to get $5 or more cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more. Easy breezy, done. Next, claim an offer for whatever you're buying on Upside. Check in at the business, pay as usual with your credit or debit card, and you get paid. And you can cash out any time to your bank account, PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands.
There's dozens of other brands.
Seriously, y'all, we cannot tell you this is something you absolutely need to do. Upside users are earning more than $1 million every week. Why are you not one of them? They have a 4.8 star rating on the App Store.
It's free money. All you got to do is upload a receipt. So download the free Upside app and use promo code LOVIN to get $5 or more cash back on your first purchase of $10 or more.
That's right. Lovin, Lovin. Hopefully that's all there was to that. All right, listen. My daughter and I were at the mall earlier tonight because we were on a shopping spree because she's going to go see Olivia Rodrigo this weekend. You familiar with Olivia Rodrigo?
I'm not familiar.
She's a singer.
Okay.
If you...
I get her and Camila Cabello confused.
She's not Camila Cabello.
Oh.
If you are of the generation where Alanis Morissette hit the scene and how big of an impact Alanis Morissette had.
Woman power.
This is she is like the Alanis Morissette for this generation.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She's telling the man to stick it?
Basically, she had a bad break. Well, she had a breakup, and she, as teenage girls tend to do, she just villainized him in song because he apparently immediately started dating another girl, and that's just not what you do. But anyway, Olivia Rodrigo, so she has this album out. Tickets were absolutely impossible to get. She's only playing in these very small venues, not these. She could sell out arenas. She could, but she said she wanted to, do the full experience, start out small like everybody else does. But so many people across the country were furious because when tickets went on sale, hundreds of thousands of people were trying to get tickets for just a handful of shows. It was really bad. So I work in radio. And so I went to my boss and I said, look, I tried. I don't like to ask for favors.
Wait a second.
I'm being transparent here.
You went in?
I texted.
And his feet were up on the desk, had his hand behind his.
It's not possibly George, it's somebody else. So anyway,
Kellie.
It was not Sean. I'm not even going to tell you it was because I don't want you to start.
Carolyn likes that when I do that one.
Who?
Carolyn.
Oh, yeah. Well, it wasn't Sean, but you can pretend it was.
Okay.
Sean, hey, I need tickets. Anyway, I said, look, I tried. Everybody in our office, honestly, we were all on the phone at the same time, all of us trying to get in. We were all, like early, we had to register, watching that clock tick down like everybody else. And I don't like to ask for free stuff all the time because I just feel like people resent us. But I was like, this is for my kid. So I said, look, these tickets were gone. I tried to go through the regular measures. Is there any way you can get me two tickets to go to this show? I was like, I don't care. I will pay if I have to. And he's like, don't worry, I'll get you. So I have no idea where these tickets are. And my daughter, of course, being 15, the last person she wants to go to Olivia Rodrigo with is me, right? So she's going to go with her older, way cooler sister. She has a half sister from my first marriage named Cameron. And Cameron is cool. Cameron's got, multiple piercings in her ears and some tattoos. Cameron's cool.
Wow.
Cameron is, let me tell you, Cameron is a stunt woman.
Wow.
Cameron, if you watch Stranger Things, she's 11 stunt double. So she's really cool. Of course she wants to go to Olivia Rodrigo with her sister and not me. And that's fine. So we go out shopping for clothes. And I'm going to tell you, all she wants to wear is skirts cut up to her hiney. Alan, that's what all the young girls are wearing now is high-waisted jeans and crop tops or skirts cut up to their hiney. And I was like, the dress she got, I hope she chooses it. She got two different outfits. One is jeans with a little crop top. I hope she chooses that. The other one's a dress. And I had to make her show me how she would bend over in it so you wouldn't see her hiney. And she showed me she could.
There's no crack?
If she squats instead of bends over, she's all good.
I'm going to tell her I saw a coin slot and she'll be horrified.
Probably. But, I did the same. I could be all judgy, preachy mom, and stuff, but I did the same thing.
You did
what?
I
wore mini skirts that were too short when I was her age.
You did?
Yes. And I remember somebody gossiping about me because when I bent over in the middle of Magnolia Mall, you could see my butt.
Wait a minute. You couldn't go to a concert, but you were wearing short skirts?
Yeah.
Well, something doesn't compute.
Because I wasn't wearing the short skirts to school. You'd wear them to the mall and stuff.
Okay.
You don't dress
So it was
the same at school as you do when you go to the mall.
So it was okay to show a lot of leg and a little bit of coin slot as long as you weren't going to a concert.
That wasn't on our thing. When we went to school, we had to wear skirts that were no more than 2 inches above the knee.
Okay.
But in, walking through the mall, I could get away with it.
With
I
anything,
guess.
basically, right?
Oh, I had one, y'all, because teenagers, you're figuring yourself out. You're trying, it's like a weird thing where you want to be attractive to boys, but you're kind of scared of your sexuality at that age. So you're kind of experimenting with what you think is sexy, but I don't know. So I was, with your fashion. Oh. And so when I was coming up in high school, we had MTV, the dawn of MTV. And so I'm watching the women on the ZZ Top. Give me all your loving, all your hugs and kisses too. Remember that? And every girl crazy about a sharp dress.
You know when I got tingly pants? You remember the Hot for Teacher video?
Yeah.
Oh,
so what am I?
When the teacher busts out?
Right. So here, that was Van Halen.
Yes.
So I'm watching these videos on TV. So my idea of what is sexy is what I'm being told by MTV. So I am like 16, 17 years old, because I bought my own clothes because I worked, I worked for my parents and stuff. And I would go buy a leather mini skirt and fishnet stockings. And they called them FM pumps. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Those stripper high heel black pumps. And I'd go walking in to Go West dressed like that. Oh, God. You should sing it by now.
I don't know how it goes.
I've sung it 5 million times.
So wait a second.
It's insulting that you don't know it.
So a leather skirt and fishnets with pump heel. Yes. What are you going to get on the back of a Harley or something?
Well, let me tell you. Somebody in the parking lot, this was at Florence Mall. Somebody in the parking lot, when I'm walking, strutting my stuff across the parking lot, rolled down his window. I mean, roll. He didn't have no electric window, and said, "How much?" Yeah, I look like a stripper. I look like a streetwalker.
They don't usually.
He thought I was a prostitute.
But they don't usually hang out at the mall.
Well, maybe I was on my lunch break. I don't know. But I mean, that's how I dressed. So, as long as, and I was overtly sexual and, a virgin and all that stuff, but you're experimenting with fashion. So that's what I'm trying to get back to my daughter, Emma Kellie. She's experimenting with fashion.
Okay.
So anyway, that's what she's doing on Saturday nights, Olivia Rodrigo.
This Saturday night?
This Saturday night. She's with her dad this weekend. So
weren't we supposed to do something Saturday night?
Yeah, we're going to a graduation.
Oh,
Our friend Susan's daughter, Livy. Friday, though, I'm pulling Emma Kellie out of school early because she's getting her learner's permit.
Oh, really?
This Friday. She's upstairs right now.
What does she have to do?
Well, I really don't know. She's doing all these we're in Texas, so she has to do online lessons.
Yeah.
And she could either go to driver school or one of her parents could do the lessons. And she's like, not me. So her dad's teaching her. She didn't want to work with me, and that's fine. I don't want to do it anyway. So he's doing all that part, but he's not going to be able to. He's working on location. He can't get here to take her Friday. So I'm going to take her Friday. Mm-hmm. So she's up there finishing up her last online courses. I've got to find her birth certificate and all this other paperwork because she's going Friday to get her learner's permit.
Is it just a written test?
I don't think she does that till she gets her driver's license. For her learner's permit, I think she just has to prove she's done the online courses.
Oh, okay.
I think. And then she gets her learner's permit, which gives her permission to drive with an adult driver in the car or something. Mm-hmm. And then she has to complete so many hours for 6 months. And then in 6 months.
In the car with an adult?
I think. I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to find out.
I'm not real clear on any of this.
Yeah. So then in 6 months, she gets to get her driver's license.
Are you going to ride with her?
I'll be happy to.
Has she been practicing?
Yeah, with her dad.
Oh, okay.
She doesn't like to ride with me because the first time I wanted my daddy taught me how to drive a stick shift. Otherwise, I was driving on my own, but the stick shift I needed help with. And I thought it'd be really cool for my daddy to give Emma Kellie a driver's license. But my mom and I wanted to be there for part of it. So we sat in the back seat. But unfortunately, my mother and I were gripping each other with the death grip and inhaling too much, like, and Emma Kellie did not like
Making her
that very
nervous?
much. Yeah, she didn't
I
like
told
that
Emma
very
Kellie,
much.
I think we were going to school the other day. I said, if you want, I asked her, I said, if you want to go out to a parking lot sometime and I can show you how to drive a stick, we can take the Chevelle out.
You wanted to learn on the Chevelle?
Yeah, she could. She could.
Okay.
Just like in a parking lot.
Yeah. I just remember my dad took me to a long road, and it was put it in first gear, stop. Put it in first gear, stop. Getting first gear is the hardest. So that's what we practiced a million times.
My first car was a 5-speed.
Really?
Yeah.
My daddy had a car lot, but so peek behind the kimono. I was driving before I had my driver's license. I mean, we just did that in South Carolina. We just run up the street. Mama would need a gallon of milk. I just go get it. Right. But my first car that I considered my first car was a Ford Mustang.
Dime.
Well, it wasn't a drop top or anything. It was just a hard top. But it was a Ford Mustang. I've got a picture of it. Well, I remember my very first car was the one I won on a Pepsi bottle cap. I was 13. Does that count? That was a Chevy Monza.
Right. What was the Mustang?
I don't know. I'd have to ask my dad.
Was it a classic Mustang?
I can show you a picture of it. I can find it.
What decade was it?
It was in the 80s. So
Oh,
it wasn't
80s
a
Mustang.
classic.
Oh,
No,
okay.
it wasn't a classic. But that was I didn't keep it very long, because that's the thing about having a daddy who was a used car dealer. You drive it for a minute and he'd sell it, and then I'd have to get something else. And he'd try to give me really cool sporty cars to drive, because I was young and he wanted me to have something fun to drive. So I remember driving a Jaguar one time, but it was an older model Jaguar, like probably a 70 something, because
Really?
Yeah, the interior was really old with like the stick shift and all that. I didn't like it.
What did it look like? Do you remember?
I can ask Daddy. He might remember. And I drove not one, but 2 red Fieros.
The Fiero.
I had
I remember
2 of
those.
them.
Yeah. I had a buddy who had one of those in high school, and we'd ride in that thing and go to Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
Because we could eat off campus.
Yeah.
Go over to Pizza Hut. $1, babe. $1 gets you a personal pan pizza and a drink.
Oh, Pizza
Hut. $1.
We would go to Pizza Hut all the time. I loved that.
About $1.
I know, back in the day. And I remember I drove that Fiero out to the Darlington Raceway, because Darlington was right next to Florence. And we had pit passes that year. So anyway, when I came back out, I'd parked in the dirt. When I came back out, it had rained, and the Fiero had sunk in the mud. It had sunk. And 2 men came and picked my Fiero up out of the mud and put it on dry ground. That's how easy it was.
Those strong men.
They were like tin cans on wheels. They were ridiculous.
I saw a forklift in the mud one time. I got yelled at.
Well, I had 2 men come to my rescue that day.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's just a little trip down memory lane. Emma Kellie has informed me she wants a Jeep. And
A Jeep?
Yes. And this is going to be her lifetime car. This is going to be her car for the rest of her life.
Not if you buy a Jeep, it's not.
Yeah, that's what she's told me. And she wants one that hasn't got the doors, because, first-time drivers, that's exactly what they need to be
So what
driving.
happens in December and January? You just turn the
put
heat
the
up
doors
real
back
high?
on, right? The doors. I've never had one without doors.
So where are we going to park this thing?
That's what she was asking me tonight.
Yeah.
I was like, oh Lord, we'll get there. We'll figure it out. I said, the only way you're going to get a car that you're going to keep is when your daddy's going to buy, not me. That's fun times, right? Bittersweet watching your kids get older like that.
Yeah, maybe she can start driving me around. That'd be great.
Maybe.
Say, Kellie, I need a lift.
Yeah.
Or maybe she can, she can practice driving. She could drive to school.
Yeah, that's her plan.
And then we'll flip, and then we'll just switch when we get there.
Yeah, and we're real lucky. Her high school is literally a mile from the house.
That'd be great.
It's not like she's going to be, riding up and down the interstate a lot.
Yeah.
But pretty soon we're going to have her Sweet 16 party. And it's like, we're already starting to think about that. It's just, oh man, it's going so fast. She can
chauffeur the kid around.
Mm-hmm. And the other kids.
The kid is me.
And the other kids as well.
Yeah, I guess so.
How cool it is when it's like, Emma Kellie, take your brothers and.
Well, you have to have an adult in there though.
Well, when she's 16,
when she's 16.
Yeah, right? I don't know what the rules are in Texas. I was in South Carolina. I was in lawless South Carolina back then, but I think it's all changed since then. But anyway, fun times. So listen, Alan texted me yesterday morning and told me he saw the news before I did that Tom Brady, he's coming back. He retired, but then he changed his mind. He's coming back for one more season with the Buccaneers. But when he retires from football, he's got a really sweet gig lined up, right?
No kidding. And like, so they just put this offer out to him and like anytime he wants it, or is it definitely next year? How does this work?
Well, according to what we have learned, like many athletes, Tom is going to go into broadcasting. He's going to call NFL games on TV, but he's not like most athletes when it comes to how much money he's getting. Remember, Tom Brady has never called a game before. This is his first TV contract, okay? He signed a 10-year deal to be the lead NFL analyst for Fox Sports.
Mm-hmm. Because Troy left.
Troy and his buddy
Joe Buck
left. They moved from Fox to ESPN's Monday Night Football.
Mm-hmm.
So sources say, nobody's confirming, but sources say that Tom's 10-year deal is worth $375 million. That's $37.5 million a year. I just did the math for you very quickly. And that's more than double the next highest paid broadcasters, which would be Tony Romo and Troy Aikman, who both earn a reported $18 million a year.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
But I think the past couple of years, Tom has finally started to show his personality.
I think he's going to be really good on TV.
I think he's going to be great. And I think they see that. They're seeing that he's likable. He's funny. He does these little funny commercials. And we were talking about it on the Kid Craddock Morning Show. And Al was like, who's going to be his broadcasting partner? It's like, would it be the best if it was Gronkowski? Brady and Gronkowski in the booth.
Well,
that would be magic.
Don't they need kind of a serious guy to go along with the jock? Like you got Joe Buck.
Why can Tom not be the serious guy and Gronk be his foil? But neither one, Troy and Joe, nobody's silly.
Well, no, but Joe is like straight as an arrow.
But do you remember when they used to have comedians? They used to have like, oh God, what was the one? The comedians that would sit in on the games. That guy that does the comedian. Oh, what's his name? The comedian with the big poofy hair. I can't think of his name right now.
Carrot Top?
No, not the redhead. Oh God, I can't think of his name. I can see his face as clear as day.
Why is Carrot Top so jacked?
He works out a lot.
Who are you thinking of? Howie Mandel?
No, he's got like flowing hair. He's like, hey man,
He's like what? Name. He's like what?
Y'all, somebody
do the impersonation.
Hey man, that's all I got. I don't know.
Like Bossman George?
No. I can't remember his name. I can visualize him as clear as day, but I cannot think of his name.
Dennis Miller?
Yes. Dennis Miller. Didn't he used to sit in on the football and do jokes and stuff?
Yeah. That was kind of a failed bit.
Well, I don't think it's a bad idea. And I think Gronkowski was a good idea. But anyway.
Gronkowski's very likable on his commercials.
He is very likable.
He's
I like
funny.
him a lot. And have we ever talked about on our podcast about Tom Brady's diet?
I think we've made mention.
I want to talk about that in a minute. But before we get to that, really quickly, we need our money. We got things to do with our money. Nobody likes waiting on a paycheck. When you got bills due, you want to go out with your friends this weekend. It's like, oh man, I don't know. Am I going to be able to make it? Well, we've got Chime. Now you can get your paycheck. Listen to this, up to 2 days early with direct deposit. Chime can do that with you. That's up to two more days to save, to pay bills. And generally, you're just going to feel good about your money situation. But Chime is more than just about getting paid a couple days early. Chime is also an award-winning mobile app. Chime is a checking account. Chime is a debit card. Chime also offers an optional savings account. Chime is awesome. I think it's a wonderful thing. You can get paid 2 days earlier than everybody else that you work with that doesn't have Chime. But why would you not share the love and share this information? Everybody can celebrate getting paid early together. What are you waiting for? Hopefully not for your paycheck. Get started with Chime today. Applying for a free account takes less than 2 minutes.
So get started at chime.com/sandwich. That's chime.com/sandwich. Banking services and debit card provided by the Bancorp Bank or Stride Right Bank. Stride Bank, NA, members, FDIC, early access to direct deposit funds, depends on payer.
That's a good deal right there. 2 days early. I wish I got a lot of things 2 days early, including my paycheck. Oh, Tom Brady.
Tom Brady, diet.
Let me pull this up real quick because I had it right. Give me 1 second. It's right here.
On a sandwich and some
Well, it
Lovin
takes me
podcast.
1 second. I'm shoveling all this stuff around, honey. It takes me a minute.
A Kid Nation podcast.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Tom Brady. Tom Brady. Here it is. 5 eating habits that Tom Brady swears by. I've already found it. Stop.
Oh.
Tom Brady has to be doing something right to still be able to play football after all these years. Brady's TB12 Foundation, which gives athletes advice on avoiding injury and staying strong, has released a list of habits that has kept the quarterback healthy. And here's just something. Now, I know he probably does a lot more than this. And he also has a full-time like chef or something that makes it all easier for him.
Is his name Mario Batali?
I don't think so. But here's what Tom and his foundation recommends. Drinking half of your weight in ounces in water.
Okay, hold on. So if I weigh $185 divided by 2, what is that?
That's 92.
That's about 92.
Mm-hmm.
92 ounces divided by 16. How many
Well, divided by 8.
quarts is that?
Well, divided by 8, that would be like a little over 11 glasses of water a day. So anyway,
that's
take
doable.
half your weight in ounces in water. Vegetables should take up 80% of your diet. 80%.
I bet he poops a lot.
But I think he also avoids like nightshade vegetables because those cause inflammation. I think I've read
what
that.
Kind?
Nightshade vegetables.
Well, I don't know what that
A lot
means.
of people who suffer from autoimmune disease and arthritis and things, they avoid nightshade vegetables. I know eggplant is considered a nightshade vegetable.
Yuck.
I think tomatoes. I don't have the list in front of me.
I'm a fan.
He also recommends eating essential fatty acids and fats.
Okay.
Avoiding refined carbs and added sugars.
So no cookies for Tom.
And taking in protein throughout the day.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's it.
It's not radical.
Yeah. It's not radical, but
I wonder how many.
It's hard.
I wonder how many ounces of protein he eats per day. He's saying eat protein throughout the day. I wonder for him, like how much does he eat?
Well, it says to get his healthy fats, it says he eats a lot of fish. He regularly snacks on nuts. And that includes chia seeds in his protein smoothies.
Chia.
As far as the protein, Tom, according to this, begins his day with a high protein breakfast and enjoys a handful of protein shakes sprinkled throughout the rest of the day. Obviously, a professional athlete like Brady is going to have a different protein needs than the rest of us. So you probably don't need multiple protein shakes every day unless you're working out like he does. And who does? Nobody. But including protein-heavy snacks in between meals like Greek yogurt, nuts, or almond butter can help you make sure you're getting enough protein on a daily basis. So there you go. That's what he swears by.
I think that's good advice. I agree with that diet. When I'm trying to eat really good, I don't eat that many vegetables, but a lot of water and a lot more protein.
He says first thing he does when he wakes up is he drinks 20 ounces of water with electrolytes. 20 ounces done out of the way. And then he's on the right. That's the first thing he does.
I drink a liter when I get up. Is that how many ounces? That's like
got it right there.
Yeah, here it is right here.
I think it's 33.
I try to chug one of these things, 33 ounces.
Yeah.
I try to chug 3 of these things a day.
There you go. Well, then you're hitting your numbers.
Yeah.
That's like almost exactly half your weight.
That's why I pee all the time.
Yeah. So there you go. If you want to live strong and, marry a supermodel and get a $300 million contract, the first step is eating like Tom Brady.
Yeah. I was at a loss for words. Sure.
It was very obvious to the rest of us as well.
All right, babe. Got anything else?
I hate when you say that.
I just wanted. What?
You have all your stuff, your Mario Batali stuff.
Why are you pointing?
Because you're asking me if I have anything else, and I'm pointing to your list.
No, last podcast we mentioned we talked a lot of true crime, and we mentioned that, or I mentioned I was keeping up with the Mario Batali trial because Johnny Depp and Amber Heard is on. They're on a break. Did you hear where Johnny is?
No.
He's in Europe. He's hanging out with, I heard he's hanging
The
out with friends.
The arts crowd.
Yeah, he's playing music and he's walking the countryside. That's what he's reporting to be doing. But anyway.
Well, I love it. He needs to clear his head and,
Chef Mario Batali, his trial took 2 days. I watched most of both days. And I don't know if you knew this, babe, but he opted for it's called a bench trial, where it's your right to say, no, I don't want a jury. I just want the judge to decide.
That was the one in England.
No. Oh, sorry, I've switched gears. We're talking about Mario Batali.
Oh, Batali. I thought you were talking about.
No. Batali is he said, I just want the judge to decide this case.
Yeah, there has to be some logic behind that.
It's called a bench trial.
Because I know Mario Batali has been accused by several women of misconduct. And maybe his attorneys, because a lot of times juries can be swayed by emotion. And it's not just about what the law is. A lot of times it's just like their gut, their, things like that. And maybe he and his team thought, let's go with the judge who's going to rule not by emotion, but by what the law says.
So his lawyer, Batali's lawyer, only called a couple of witnesses. One was the accuser, another was the accuser's friend. And basically the charges were he groped this woman in a restaurant.
Right.
Okay. They were taking selfies. He groped her. So it was pretty interesting the way things turned out. He was acquitted. So he was found not guilty of these. And this was a criminal trial. If he was found guilty, he could have gone to jail for a couple of years.
Yeah.
But he was acquitted. And the testimony that killed the accuser, there were a couple of things. The judge in his decision said, what, and I'm paraphrasing, what Mario Batali did was not cool because, he's a public figure and he didn't conduct himself like a public figure, but the witness is not credible in her testimony. So that's why he didn't find for her. And what got her was, turns out she tried to get out of jury duty one time, or she did get out of jury duty one time because she said she was clairvoyant.
Right.
That was her reason.
And she was afraid that with her ability, she wouldn't be impartial.
Yeah.
She could see the truth.
So she could see the future.
Wouldn't that be the best reason to be on the jury? Because you know the truth.
So she basically blew off of jury duty. Okay. That's probably, the judge probably didn't love that, but she also tried to scam a gym out of $200 by forging a fake lease. Okay. So
she worked with her mother on that.
Yeah. So they forge a fake lease, show it to the gym so she can get out of the cancellation fee of $200 because she doesn't want to go to the gym anymore. Okay. So the argument was, well, if she's going to try to scam this gym out of $200, wouldn't she say just about anything to anybody to get $50,000 out of this guy? So those two things, and then also some of the text messages she was sending to her friends that they were saying just ridiculous stuff like, yeah, you should hire a lawyer, OMG, yas queen, all this kind of just stupid talk and just silly talk.
Yeah.
And just like
if you've really been traumatized, you're not joking
around like that. And then she also went back to the scene of the alleged crime several times to eat. And
to confront him.
No, just to hang out. And I mean, if you were really traumatized, would you do that? I don't know. So anyway, that's kind of the three things that did her in, and that's what the judge said. So that one is over. 2 days.
That was quick.
It was interesting though. Very interesting.
Very quickly, I flipped over to Court TV today just because, I don't know, I finished watching Real Housewives of New Jersey, part 2 of that reunion. Oh, I had a headache. But then Court TV was on and they were just, recapping because that's all they got, right? That's their biggest moneymaker right now was the Johnny Depp trial. And they were saying that the judge gave each side, if I have the number a little off, please forgive me, but I believe it was 61 and a half hours each.
Yeah, that's right.
61 and a half hours each to present their case.
Yep.
And Johnny has used up, I don't know, let's just say 38 hours or 34 hours. And Amber has used up 38 hours. So she's already used up more of her time than Johnny has. But that time is used for presenting your side of the case, for cross-examination, for bringing in all these other witnesses. And next week, from what I understood today, Ellen Barkin is expected to be called to testify. I believe Amber's people are bringing her on because Johnny and Ellen Barkin dated for a while. And apparently they had a really bad argument where Ellen claims he threw a wine bottle against a wall, not at her, but against a wall. But they want to show that Johnny could act violently sometimes. Even if they're not throwing a bottle at you, I would be terrified if Alan and I got in a huge fight and he threw a bottle of wine across the wall. That would freak me out. I would be scared by that.
So I heard something different.
But Johnny's saying that didn't happen. Ellen swore to that in a deposition that it did. But that doesn't mean he threw it at her, but still, they're just trying to show that Johnny is volatile. But Johnny's team is saying that in all these years, of dating and everything, no other woman's ever claimed that he hit her. So I don't know, but that's what we're expecting next week.
I heard the argument wasn't between Ellen Barkin and Johnny. It was between Johnny and some of his assistants. Right. And she happened to be in the room.
But he's also claiming that he's saying it didn't happen, but Ellen's saying it did because she wanted the relationship to continue and it did not end under good circumstances.
Right. And that's what Johnny said. She's sour grapes.
Right.
So again, it's
another
he said, she said,
So anyway, we only got a few more days. And Amber Heard still got to get back on the stand and finish her side of the story.
Yeah.
Well,
guess we have to listen to that.
I'm anxious. My thing is, I can't wait to get into the cross-examination. That's going to be the real interesting part to see, because some of the commentators say what she's saying right now has been rehearsed, because that's what you do. You plan. Well, you're going to go. This is not an unheard of thing. Dr. Phil, when Oprah met Dr. Phil,
give me some.
You can't toot on a rock and look for oil. I don't know.
You can't toot on a rock and look for oil?
I don't know. He says things. But Dr. Phil was a court, I forget the word, but he was a court specialist. And when Oprah Winfrey was being sued by all the cattle farmers, remember she did that show on mad cow disease?
Yeah.
No, it's serious. She did a show on mad cow disease and beef prices plummeted. And people lost mucho money, and they were suing her for, putting out this false information. It was a really, really big deal. She was terrified. And she came to Texas. Dr. Phil had an office right up the street from where we work at our radio station. And they have a mock jury. They had a big room where they had a mock jury with the lawyers and a judge and everything. And they did a mock trial. And the first time Oprah got on that stand, and she's just telling her story, and the jury voted against her. And so that's when they had to work with her and say, well, when we asked you this question, you acted really offensive, and the jury doesn't like, you have to be coached on how to answer questions that makes you likable and believable to the jury. Even if you're telling the truth, it's the way you state your truth and the way, you can't let your voice get really loud. So anyway, Dr. Phil coached her for that trial. Of course, she won. And that's when he became Dr. Phil and was on her show all the time, ended up getting his talk show.
I wish you would do a Dr. Phil impersonation.
Baby, I don't have anything. I don't, you just talk like that. You set it up that way. That's it. That's all I got.
I really like your impersonations.
Why?
Because they're funny.
But they're not good.
Back when all that mad cow stuff was going on.
Yeah.
So I had an ex-girlfriend, and I took her to this really nice, what?
Because I've heard this, but go ahead.
I took her to this really nice restaurant.
Really?
I was really trying.
Way before me.
Yeah, I was really trying to impress her. So we go in and sit down. The maitre d' comes up and says, "What will you have?" And I said, "I will have your very best ribeye." And he goes, "Sir, aren't you worried about the mad cow?" And I looked over at my ex-girlfriend. I said, "Nah, she can order herself."
Isn't that a good one? Maybe if you told it in your Dr. Phil voice.
Hey, you toot on a rock and look for oil.
I don't know.
Is that how you do it, Kelly? I don't know how to do it.
Kid used to say, because Dr. Phil always had his Philisms, and Kid had something he'd pull out of his back pocket. He'd say, you can't, F, you toot. I say toot instead of the F word. You can't blank on a rock and expect to find oil or
You
something
can't fart
like
on
that.
a rock and expect to find
I
oil.
don't understand. It's something to that effect. But anyway.
Well, maybe I'll work on it then. I'll watch some Dr. Phil videos, and that'll be another one of our characters.
One of your characters.
You want to read some letters and then bring it
Sure.
home for Jerome and
Sure.
then yogurt out? Do you have anything else you definitely wanted to cover off on?
No, we've already promoted Oaked Barbecues fan meetups in Galvin. Don't be chewing our butts. If you tuned into the podcast late,
That's
we
right.
already did it.
Because I'm clairvoyant. This first letter is from Juan. Subject: solo traveler first time. Hey, y'all. So I'm 26 and I love the podcast, but I need advice. I want to take my first solo trip and go to the meetup. I need a push. I'm worried because I know no one besides y'all's comforting voices. I've never really traveled by myself like this, and I don't know any words of encouragement. I was looking to stay at a Deep Ellum hotel, but is there anything I should Is there anything I should, Is there anything I should do during the day if I decide to take the jump and seek discomfort? I think that's a way of saying take the jump and
get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, get out of the comfort zone. If I do make it, I do wish to have my first martini with the one and fabulous Mrs. Rasberry, and of course a boob joke and a shot from my man Alan.
Oh, you're great. Boob joke.
Needing a push and advice, Juan.
Okay, Juan. Here's the thing, Juan. We also had another podcast listener who came and had their very first martini with me and did not like it, and I ended up drinking it. Slightly dirty martini is an acquired taste. I might get you something else. That's not even number one. My number one suggestion is do not stay in Deep Ellum. Right now, Deep Ellum, things are cyclical and there's a lot of crime going on in Deep Ellum.
A lot of nice tattoo shops.
There
coffee
are
shops.
to go during the day.
Uncommon James.
Go to in the daytime, go to Deep Ellum.
Bustling small businesses.
Go to the daytime to Deep Ellum. But I wouldn't go to Deep Ellum at night.
Great tattoo shops down there.
But I would not go at night. I'm
Elm
sorry.
Street Tattoo.
I'm sorry if that hurts anybody's feelings.
Okay.
Where should he stay?
Well, Juan, there are a lot of nice hotels right up 75, Interstate 75.
There's a DoubleTree.
That's real close to the restaurant. Lots of chains there. If you want to stay somewhere a little nicer, downtown Dallas, there's a lot of nice hotels.
The Omni,
the
Dallas
Statler
Omni is a big deal. They're a little bit more pricey, but come on, Juan. Are you in this is the best way to get to know a few people ahead of time, is to watch us record our podcast on YouTube. We record it live on Monday and Wednesday nights, sometime around 8:00. Sometimes we're a little later than that, but because we have things that just come up. But you get in the chat room and you'll meet people there. Just they know each other in the chat, and then you come to the fan meetup and y'all already know each other a little bit, But it's a real warm and welcoming crowd. I promise you. We've had people come solo before and make friends, and it always works out. So I hope that's the push you need. We'd love to meet you.
Yeah, come on, Juan. Come hang out.
Where does he live?
He did not say.
Wonder where he's coming from. There might be another listener that's coming from where you live,
Speaking of Deep Ellum tattoos, I went and did my second session of chest last night. Have you seen it?
Yes, baby. You showed me last night.
Did I? And that's another reason I think I'm brain dead. I don't know. I get real tired after I get a tattoo.
I'm tired.
Yeah. No, it's turning out great though. Yeah. You think?
Mm-hmm. It's going to be really nice when it's finished. It's nice now, but it's going to be nicer.
Yeah. It's a lot, isn't it?
It's a big chest piece.
Think we'll go back after that?
Well, I know you will. So let's even.
Shout out to my man Joe in Arlington.
Hey, Joe.
Joe Hash, Heart and Hand, Arlington. Okay, last letter. This is from my man Tony. From Tony. Subject: it's me again. Hi, Alan and the others. Wow.
Has he got an issue with me?
I don't know. It's undetermined.
I wonder why.
I don't know. It's me again. This time I will acknowledge Apache Cowboy as your two favorite Black listeners. So Tony's saying he and Apache Cowboy are our two favorite Black listeners.
Okay.
Tony, I don't know. I think the real Neon has something to say about that.
Carolyn?
I think Carolyn has something to say about that. Okay. There's 4.
There's 4 we can think of.
I think Sinise has something to say about
Sinise!
that. Don't forget
Sinise,
Sinise.
of course. 5.
All right.
Not that we're counting.
Alan, I am very disappointed in Kellie
Oh, Lord.
from the last podcast.
What did I do?
She kept using the derogatory word bozo. I thought that in 2022 we would be past this.
What's bozo?
My family comes from a line of great bozos. we take pride in carrying on our legacy. Bozos are real true Americans. We are hardworking people who put God, family, and country first. I will still listen, but just know I will be in tears. Tony, aka
Tony.
Bozo Chief.
I'm sorry, Bozo Chief. Listen.
Tony, my man.
Remember Bozo the Clown? So basically, bozos is just another word for a bunch of clowns, right?
No, I know.
Bozo and you've always said that calling someone a clown is a huge insult. That's what you've said.
Huge. No, the biggest insult is who's this clown?
Because not only are they a clown,
I'm calling you a clown, but you're such a not well-known clown. I don't know who you are.
That's a double insult.
That's a double insult. Who's this clown?
I'm just saying bozo.
Yeah.
But Tony, I would never want to say anything to hurt your feelings. If that truly hurts your feelings, and I have a feeling it really does, I'll try to cut back on using the word bozo as much. But it is one of my favorites. I could also use jive turkey a little bit more. You know how I feel about jive turkey.
I think you should use bozo.
I love jive turkey. I one time had a t-shirt made with jive turkey, but I picked the wrong font. And so the J looked like a cursive T and it looked like Tive turkey. It was, and I couldn't even wear it. It was embarrassing. But I should get another jive turkey t-shirt.
Graphic designer fail?
It was. I picked the wrong font. But I'm going to have another one before I die.
Okay.
Keep on trucking, jive turkey.
What's a worse insult, though? I think we've debated this before. Is it who's this clown or the whole world can kiss my ass? Which one's worse?
Well, in essence, it would be the kissing your butt.
I think it's the whole world.
Everyone.
I mean, that's everyone.
That's
you.
Yeah, the Pope.
Yeah. Zoe.
President.
Yeah.
Your mother.
Golly.
See, you get offended when I say that.
Bossman
but
George.
You're the one that says the whole world.
Bossman George.
Everybody.
Carolyn.
Yeah.
It's not
all
nice.
The babies that are just being born into
right.
this world.
Right.
Not even 2 minutes old. They can kiss your butt too.
Amy Wilkerson.
Everybody.
Everybody.
That's what you're including.
It's not nice.
That's probably the bigger insult.
Don't use that one. All right, babe. Well, I was going to give an update on the guy that I met at Home Depot, but I don't really have an update on that because I haven't planted the seed yet. I was going to do that today, and I just flamed out, didn't do it.
Well, it takes a minute for the seed to take, so it might be a month before you have an update on your seed.
Well, I have to sow the seed first. We'll have to prepare the soil, then sow seed, then cultivate the seed.
Well, get back to us in a few weeks.
And then
we'll wait with bated breath.
And I'm going to grow grass.
I hope so, honey.
Can't believe that guy. That's not going to work. Well, yeah, it will.
All right.
God. That's why I'm tired. Everybody always giving me.
Get on your nerves.
Yeah.
It's exhausting. Right?
Yes. Everybody always beating me down.
Yeah. And then you come home to me.
It's not true.
That's not true.
All you do is provide joy.
Okay, now you're.
Whoa. What's up? What's up, Sasquatch?
Alan's rubbing my leg. Well, that obviously goes.
What's up, Chewy?
Yeah, when's the last time you rubbed my leg to know that they're hairy? So why bother shaving them?
Oh.
You haven't touched my leg in a hot minute.
Mighty Chewbacca.
Yeah, I do need to shave. It's pretty bad.
Wow. Okay.
That's probably the longest ever been that you felt though.
It's about like mine. It's so long it's not even sharp.
You can't even see it.
It's because it's so fine.
I know.
All right, babe. That's all I got.
It's been a while. I let it go.
All right. Well, I love you desperately.
I love you.
Love our listeners desperately.
I love y'all.
But I am sure we will podcast again real soon. And in the immortal words of the great Keanu Reeves, life is good when you have a good sandwich. Bye.
I'm going to have to call Nicole. This is obviously getting chopped off, and there's no way.
I just Ron Burgundy that stuff. The way you show it to me is what I read.
I'm going to probably have to go back and fix that, but there's no way. I might have to record that little bit.
Bozo. Oh. A sandwich and some bozo. Charles, that's a good one. A sandwich and some bozo.
Well, if that's offensive, I don't want to do that.
It's not. It's a clown. Hello, Mel.
That was the very last thing we said. So that's not really the title. That's literally the last thing we said. That's going to be the title of the podcast. I think it needs to be something else.
Okay. Come on with something else.
We'll take some other suggestions, please.
Thank you, Mel. Mel's always got my back.
For what?
Anything. Doesn't matter what.
All right. So the first thing I did.
Hello. Hello, Mel. Hello, hand. Hello, hand. Oh, hello, hand. A sandwich and a learner's permit? Oh, Michael, me and you, great minds.
What?
A sandwich and a learner's permit. Mel, I thought you knew what Bodo was. All right, guys. Oh, gosh. Thank you, Charles. My man. All right, guys, we're going to get this uploaded and wind things down here at the Manor. Thank you for being here.
Good night. Y'all pray for my arm. It's so bad. I can't even straighten it. It's so bad. I'm going for a follow-up tomorrow and hopefully I'll get some relief. It's really been rough. I appreciate it. I wake up in the morning and it's like, oh.
Sorry, man.
Are you really?
We'll knock it off the ailment list.
Really?
No, Mel, it's not dirty. But BODA is just it's an acronym I use like when you have a confrontation with somebody, and they're kind of being an a-hole and then you start being an a-hole, not to where
Who wins?
Yeah,
I love the
not to where it
a-holes.
becomes like a fight or anything, but like you're trying to out a-hole the other person. That's what BODA is. It's not lewd. It's not lewd. Mel says she's praying for you.
Thank you, Mel. I know you are.
Thank you, Mel.
Um,
Good night.